Alright guys, Mikey here from Mikey's Iron Rage. Guys, I got another awesome comparison video for use today. And we're going to do it on Nick Walker posing at the 2022 Mr. Olympia versus Nick Walker posing at the 2023 Arnold Classic that just took place last week. And when you put these pictures side by side, you could really see the difference in Nick's physique and how he fell off from the 2022 Mr. Olympia, because sometimes it's hard to tell with Nick because he always wears red trunks and he usually comes in on point. He's very consistent from competition to competition, but when you put these pics side by side, he looked a little bit better at the Olympia. He was drier and looked a little more streamlined. He was holding a little bit more water at the Arnold Classic, making himself look bigger, which he probably was, but he was holding more water, and his skin tone was a little bit better at the Olympia, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, this was the Arnold Classic. This was your top three right here. And, I mean, I agree with the placings, but I think that maybe Andrew Jacked should have placed first, and he placed third. Nick placing second, I could agree with that. But look at the difference here between Samson and Nick. I mean, Samson looks great, but his arms are lacking a little bit. He's holding a vacuum, and he's got a tighter midsection than Nick, but Nick is definitely drier. And this is Nick and Andrew Jacked. And I think Andrew Jacked looked phenomenal. His arms could have been a little bit bigger, but he had nice feathering to the quads, and he was very aesthetic. Very, very aesthetic. And that's why I give him the edge over Samson and Nick Walker. I mean, Nick's got huge, gigantic arms and big, gigantic legs, but his legs just don't match up with his upper body too well. But I digress. All right, guys. Starting off with the first pose of the night, and we got the front double bicep. And look at the difference here. Look at him at the Mr. Olympia on the left and him at the Arnold Classic on the right. His arms were bigger. His skin tone was definitely darker. His legs looked a little bit bigger at the Arnold, but he had a better V-taper at the Mr. Olympia. His abs were a little more diced, and his lats were thicker. So, if anything, man, the Olympia version of Nick Walker with that front double bicep pose was definitely better than the Arnold Classic. All right, guys, now we got the side chest. And this is, again, what I'm saying. Nick was holding more water at the Arnold Classic. The side sweep to the quads looked better at the Mr. Olympia. His arms were definitely bigger and better. His shoulders were definitely bigger and better. So, I mean, he definitely looked a little bit better in that pose at the Mr. Olympia. Now we got the side tricep, and this is another one. I mean, look at the difference. And I just hate the way Nick holds the pose, especially the way he's holding it at the Arnold Classic. He's showing too much of his chest. But his triceps were definitely bigger and definitely a little more deeply cut at the Mr. Olympia contest. I mean, what a difference, though, huh? When you put the pictures up, side by side. All right, now we got the ab and thigh, and Nick's midsection was definitely tighter at the Olympia. Look at how much more tighter his midsection was. It was a little blockier at the Arnold Classic, and his lats look like they're flaring out, though, a little bit more at the Arnold Classic, though, right, guys? And look at the detail in the quads at the Mr. Olympia, and it's the skin tone, too. His skin tone was lighter at the Arnold Classic. All right, now we got a hands on the hip, most muscular, and his midsection looks like it's protruding a little bit more at the Mr. Olympia than it is at the Arnold Classic, but he just looks a little bit bigger and better at the Mr. Olympia. I'm telling you guys, what a difference. And he always wears those red trunks, so it's very hard to, because he comes in so consistent, it's hard to judge. And look at this picture, guys. This says it all right here. Look at the crab most muscular. Look at the bow in his chest. And look at how his traps are popping at the Mr. Olympia contest. His arms were bigger. Shoulders were bigger, like I said before. His quads had more detail to them. And his calves even look a little bit bigger. Wow, what a difference, though. And you wouldn't think there was that much of a difference if you didn't put these pictures side by side. Now, look at the rear lat spread. This is where he definitely didn't improve. He did not improve on this pose whatsoever. And it was, 6 months ago, the Mr. Olympia contest? It's amazing the way the body can change in 6 months. First of all, hams and glutes were more diced at the Olympia. The traps were popping more. He had more detail to his back. The lat insertions looked better. He just looks better at the Mr. Olympia. So if I were to give a point, I would give a point to the Mr. Olympia version for the rear lat spread. Now we got the rear double bicep, guys. And yeah, It's plain to see that Nick looked a lot better at the Mr. Olympia, and yet he placed, what, third at the Mr. Olympia? He placed second at the Arnold Classic, but I really think that Nick got handed that second place finish. I think he could have placed third. I think Sampson and Andrew Jack were a little bit better, in my opinion. If he looked like he did at the Mr. Olympia contest, though, he would have definitely maybe won the whole show. I mean, look at the difference with the back, though. The back was so much better at the Mr. Olympia contest. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, look at him next to Sampson in this ab and die. I mean, it's no competition whatsoever. And like I said, his upper body overpowers his legs. Yes, his legs are big, but his upper body's just gigantic. Then look at him here, up against Andrew Jack. Like I said, Andrew Jack could bring his arms up a little bit more, and he can definitely add some more size to that frame. 100%, he could add another 10, 12 pounds to that frame. Nick Walker, on the other hand, yes, he looks very good in the front double bicep, but that midsection just kills it for me. It's where your eyes go first. That's the focal point of the whole physique. But I digress. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And do you think that Nick Walker deserved to place second? Guys, Mikey from Mikey's Iron Rage, peace out.